What's happening? This is Joshua Buatsi and you're watching Sporting Icons.
This is Callum Johnson and you're watching Sporting Icons.
So I put out a YouTube poll asking who is the best out of these three, and we're talking Callum Johnson, Anthony Yarde and Joshua Buatsi. Now, to be honest with you, I was a little surprised what the results came out as, because Joshua Buatsi, he got 58% of the votes, Anthony Yarde 30%, and Callum Johnson only 12%. Because for me, in my opinion, I think right now, if these guys did a round robin, I think the one that may just come out on top might be Callum Johnson, because he's more experienced as a pro and is for obviously better opposition and what have you. Of course, Yarde, he has been in there with Kovalev for sure, so he's going to have that experience. But for me, I think that Callum Johnson might just edge it. I'm not saying that Anthony Yarde and Joshua Buatsi can't beat him. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying that if I had to put money on it, which I wouldn't, but if I had to, I'll probably go with Callum Johnson. Callum Johnson, of course, gave Yarde all that work. And after being out of the ring for the best part of 18 months to 2 years, since beating Buglioni, he'd only had a round and a half of fighting when he took on Yarde. And he dropped Beterbiev as well. But anyway, it is what it is. I mean, for me, I think when you look at Yarde and Buatsi, these guys are prospects. Of course, Callum Johnson, he's going to be fighting for the European light heavyweight title soon enough this year in November, I think it is. But when it comes to Anthony Yarde and Buatsi against a Callum Johnson, I think, to be brutally honest with you, I think the one that could potentially upset, if we can call it an upset, Callum Johnson might be Buatsi, because of his amateur experience. Because when it comes to Yarde and Buatsi has far deeper amateur experience as well. And of course, Buatsi is very, very heavy-handed, and he's a tactician in the ring as well. He's more of a sharpshooter, if you like, whereas Anthony Yarde, of course, he's very good with his jab, doesn't really use it too much. He just goes in there for the kill, but he's not very good on the back foot. So for me, if anybody can beat Anthony Yarde, you've got to press him. You've got to push him back. And I think Buatsi and Johnson can do that. But again, Anthony Yarde, very, very heavy-handed, and he could legitimately knock out both of these guys. So for me, it's a very interesting mix. That's why I did it. Because although I do favour Callum Johnson, and again, as you can see, for those who have accused me before of rigging polls, that's impossible, first of all, but quite clearly you can see it's not, because for me, I think that Callum Johnson could actually beat both of these, or would be the favourite in my mind. But hey, listen, you never know. I mean, how good is Yarde? We don't know yet. We have seen him become undone against Kovalev. Of course, it was an older Kovalev, and it was in Russia as well. So maybe the crowd, the pressure and everything made Anthony Yarde not perform great. But Yarde, he couldn't really defend against the jab. And of course, he did get stopped, and well, he got put down and out really with the jab. But for me, a lot of that was exhaustion. It really was. But I think that Anthony Yarde, of course, he did have a great round in round 8. And whenever Frank Warren and BT Sport talk about Anthony Yarde, they have to mention round 8. But they don't talk about all the other rounds. Okay, but for me, I think that there's a bit of a gap with Anthony Yarde and world level right now. But listen, I think Anthony Yarde will go on to become a world champion for sure. I believe Buatsi will be, and I believe Callum Johnson will be as well. So either way, I think for British light heavyweight division, we're in a pretty good time right now. Really, I do. Ordinarily, light heavyweight division hasn't always been a great division for Brits. Of course, we always had some pretty good ones, but I think now we've got quite a lot of them that could potentially go on, and certainly the three, along with the likes of a Dan Aziz, and that, of course, Hosea Burton, and you know what, the list goes on and on. But I think that these three right now, these are the three leaders right now. But if anybody could upset the apple cart, potentially right now, it could well be a Hosea Burton. Could be, but you know what, we don't really hear too much about Hosea Burton. We know he's doing the golden contract right now. But anyway, for me, I think Callum Johnson is the best currently. I think in a couple of years, we could be having a totally different conversation. But right now, I think that Callum Johnson would probably be the favourite against an Anthony Yarde or a Joshua Buatsi. But again, who's going to be the best between Buatsi and Yarde? I don't know. I really don't know. Love to see the fight though. Anyway, drop your thoughts below, click thumbs up, subscribe. Catch you all in the next video.